What's up, everybody? So, this is a ramble I wasn't intending on doing, but when I saw this weekend's pre order stuff, I got kind of excited about it and I thought it was pretty cool. Of course, we have the Chaos Hero, right? Or the Chaos Leader, the Harkin World Claimer, Herald of the Apocalypse. What a cool title, right? But that's not the topic of the discussion here. We're looking at Marneus Calgar, Ultramarines Chapter Master, because he is up for pre order now. Now, I don't follow Warhammer Community a lot, so I also don't look at the rumor mills of stuff. So I don't know too much until it comes out officially from GW, because I don't want to be a news rumor stirrer, if that stirring the pot, if that makes any sense. But in one of the Warhammer Community mentions earlier in the week, we did see a picture of Marneus Calgar again, and two other very interesting Marines. So this pre-order was very interesting to me because this is actually the first time I'm seeing this Victrix guard. But before we get to them, just want to quickly mention I've done a long ramblecast with my buddy Matt. We talked about Primaris Marines as well as Marneus Calgar becoming the first Primaris created from standard Astartes. And there's a whole long discussion there. I'm not going to get bogged down in the details and minutia in this ramble, but I will say I'm a fan of it. I don't mind it. I like Primaris as a concept. If everything went Primaris and we kept our entire range, then really it doesn't matter at the end of the day, but whatever. So yeah, anyways, I'm totally fine with Marneus Calgar becoming a Primaris. His model looks cool. Still a little weirded out by the jump pack style vents in the front of his backpack. It just doesn't make sense to me, but it doesn't kill the model for me. He still looks great. And he has a helmet, and that's even better. I love characters with helmets. What's also pretty cool that I didn't notice when I first saw the model is it has an extra bit you can glue on to the range weapon. And this is spent shell casings. Now, he has it glued onto his right arm in all the example pictures, and it looks really good. It really helps set the tone for being dynamic and actively doing something aside from just rallying the troops. But you don't need to have the bit there, and it does change the tone a little bit. So, a nice little added extra bit piece that I didn't notice the first time. So, very cool model. I think his armor of Heracles, which is obviously Greco-Roman inspired, because that's what the Ultramarines are, is a suit of Mark 10 Gravis armor. It looks great. It's got suitable stats, as we saw in the rules preview form. Really glad to see him get an update, and it makes sense for him to get the honor of being the first Primaris upgraded Marine like this. I will come back to that because aside from just looking at the models, I want to go a little conspiracy theory here, just for the fun of it. So, alongside him, however, which I wasn't expecting to be sold together like this, is the Victrix Guard. Just looking at their models, you can see that they are definitely inspired by the Honor Guard models with the same kind of helmet setup, which, by the way, the Honor Guard is still for sale. They're going up, or they're up for pre-order by themselves now. They used to be sold, I believe, alongside Marneus Calgar and Terminator armor. That, you know, in the canon anyway, is no longer a thing, so they're being repackaged for pre-order and sold by themselves. Pretty cool because they're still fantastic looking models and worth being sold. Anyways, the Victrix Guard definitely inspired by that, I feel for sure. They're Primaris, and the two alongside Marneus Calgar are called out by name, so that's pretty cool. They're his most trusted aides from the Victrix Guard, which means there's more than two of them, which means there's a unit of Victrix Guard, as they mentioned, is a brand new unit for the Ultramarines, so I wonder the lore behind them. That's going to be fun to look at. They're both equipped the same, which leads me to think that perhaps the Victrix Guard is always equipped this way. Storm Shield and Power Sword, very Greco-Roman theming. Again, that's the Ultramarine shtick, so it works very well. And I just really like these guys. Part of it is they're Primaris with unique gear, and they look different from the standard Primaris range, which I like, because the Primaris range, not that it's stale, but we don't got a lot of variety going on. So seeing more variety like this is cool. Now, because the Primaris captain is so limited in what they can take, unfortunately you can't run one of these as a Primaris captain because they don't have this war gear options. But still cool models nonetheless. Definitely, if you're an Ultramarine fan and collector, definitely something to get added to your group for sure. I don't know what it means by a new unit though. I don't know if they're only takeable by Marneus Calgar or if you have a squad of them on their own. I'm not sure. but they lend survivability via the storm shield, so that's cool. Now, the models are great. Wasn't expecting them to be a kit like this. I was expecting just a blister pack style Marneus Calgar by himself, but I'm totally fine with them being together. If you can take more than 2 of them on their own, I'm hoping to see a Victrix Guard kit at the very least, so you don't have to have 17 Marneus Calgars. You know what I mean? Anyways, with that said, the models are great, but I find their product description very interesting because these 2 veteran warriors, Lethro Eidos and Nemes Adranus, are 2 of his most trusted aides from the Victrix Guard, which is a new thing, for us as players to learn about. And Marneus Calgar, they call it out as an extremely risky surgery required to transform a traditional Space Marine into a Primaris Marine. Makes sense. Everything's extremely risky in 40k, so I didn't expect this to be any different. But now this could just be UK versus here my US way in which I would describe things. The UK people do write things a bit differently. English language variances, culture. It's cool. But anyway, they say Marneus Calgar was the first to undergo the procedure. Which, yes, because he isn't actively going through it, so he was the first. But it also kind of sets the tone and opens up a little doorway to say, well, he was the first. We have these others, but Marneus Calgar was the first. So I'm curious to see if, when we get this updated fluff and everything, if we see any other call-outs to Space Marines undergoing this procedure as well. I'm not going to say that his Victrix Guard, Lethro Eidos, and Nemes Adranus have it also, because that would kind of steal the thunder from this new introduction that is Marneus Calgar as a Primaris. But I do think that saying it the way in which he was the first one to go it kind of puts in the past, which obviously because he underwent it already, but I think it also sets up the stage and it opens the door to just start pumping out other Space Marines turned into Primaris as well. So I am looking forward to see what the future might bring for that, for other chapters perhaps as well. Anyways, that's my conspiracy theory tinfoil hat stuff. Really cool to see the model up for pre-order. Really cool to see these Victrix Guard guys. I'm glad the Honor Guard isn't phased out. I'm glad it's still being sold because they're fantastic models. So looking forward to see how this all pans out and what the future fluff is about these Primaris dudes, because I like them. I have no problem and I'll close with this, I guess. If the entire range as we know it stayed as we know it, tactical, Devastator, Assault, yada yada yada, Terminators, but it all got Primaris scaled, I'm okay with that. Now the models I would like to be broken down and assembled like the tactical and Devastators are, not so much like the Intercessors and stuff are, because they're very purpose built, but still, scale-wise, the scale just feels that much better to me personally. So I don't really have a problem with Primaris. I know some people do. For me personally, not so much. So cool to see more Primaris stuff, especially more Primaris stuff that's unique. The Armor of Heracles, Marneus Calgar, unique obviously, and these Victrix Guard are just in Mark 10, but their gear is more ornate and it's unique and it's interesting. And last conspiracy theory, if you look at the leg armor of the Victrix Guard, they got a Crux Terminatus looking adornment. Now, Crux Terminatus used to really mean these Marines were trained and given the honor of being able to equip Terminator armor. It kind of just has been used as a catch-all symbol for veteranship in this day and age of 40k. It still means that in the fluff, but it's not really called out specifically. So this could just be a symbol we know for veteranship, which is why they have it on their leg armor. Or it means these Primaris are trained in Terminator armor, which could really open up fluff a lot. I'm not saying we're going to see it anytime soon, but I would love to see Primaris Terminator armor scale-wise. I think it would be awesome looking, but that's just me. And that's just me stirring the pot of just conspiracy theory there, just a little bit. Anyways, thanks for sticking through this long-winded ramble. Don't forget to check out that poll I have on the community tab of this channel. If you want to vote, cast your vote. It'll be up to January 1st. And thanks very much for sticking through this. Share your thoughts in the comment section below. And until next time, take it easy.